She was just 15, full of life, dreams, and her first love. She thought she was going to visit her grandparents and finally meet someone special. But days later, her mutilated body was found beneath rocks in a reservoir, with a cryptic message carved into her skin. The masterminds, 2 teenagers, and the punishment, no more than 3 years. This isn't just a story of love gone wrong. It's a story of manipulation, jealousy, and cold, calculated murder. This is the horrifying case of Nicole Fernanda Poeri. Nicole Fernanda Poeri was a high school student from Mococa, São Paulo, Brazil. She was kind, curious, and full of ambition. Her passion was aviation, and her dream of becoming a pilot wasn't just a fantasy. It was a concrete goal she worked toward with determination. She loved to draw, often spending hours creating intricate sketches. Her notebooks weren't just schoolwork, they were filled with visions of the future. Her mother, Priscilla, was deeply proud of her daughter. She frequently posted photos of Nicole on social media, celebrating her light and talent. Friends and classmates described Nicole as cheerful, genuine, and full of life. But no one knew that something deeply sinister was already closing in around her. That danger came in the form of Enrique, a 17-year-old she had known as a child in Hordalandia, where her family once lived. Even after her family moved to Mococa, she stayed in touch with him online. Their conversations eventually deepened into what Nicole believed was her first real relationship. For her, it was special. For Enrique, it was something else entirely. Enrique had recently ended a turbulent relationship with a girl named Evelyn, who was his own age. She had a history of aggression, and her behavior had raised red flags on multiple occasions. In one disturbing instance, she reportedly climbed the fence of Enrique's house holding a knife, threatening him in a jealous rage. She had a known obsession with dark content online. Horror themes, disturbing posts, even usernames linked to violent imagery. Despite everything, Enrique and Evelyn had a toxic bond. When he saw Evelyn at a party with another boy, his jealousy flared. Instead of moving on, he reached out to Nicole, and she unknowingly became part of a twisted plan. Enrique didn't want love, he wanted leverage. In private messages to a friend, Enrique admitted he only started dating Nicole to provoke Evelyn. He even said, "I felt disgusted just looking at her, and if Evelyn wants, I'll get rid of that girl she hates." These weren't just reckless words. They were signs of premeditation, cold, calculated manipulation. Nicole had no idea. She saw Enrique as someone who cared, so when he invited her to visit him in Hordalandia while she was staying with her grandparents, she was hopeful. Her first visit, on July 12, ended in heartbreak. Enrique told her he didn't want to continue their relationship, without giving any real explanation. Still, Nicole didn't lose hope. She thought maybe there was still a chance to fix things. Then, on July 14, he called again. He asked if she'd come over to talk. It was a trap. Nicole left her grandparents' home during the day, saying she'd return that evening. But she never came back. When her family tried to contact her, there was no answer. Enrique claimed she had left his house and he didn't know where she went. But when they pressed him for details, his answers were vague, inconsistent, and he didn't seem worried. Then he disappeared, too. At the same time, Enrique's father, who had been working a night shift, came home and found signs that something was very wrong. There were muddy footprints in the house, bloodstains in the living room and bathroom. A mattress had been partially burned in the backyard. When he tried calling Enrique, he either didn't answer or gave strange responses. Finally, Enrique's father contacted the police. It was Enrique's own family who cooperated with investigators, refusing to cover for him, sharing everything they found, and urging law enforcement to search the house. On July 18, 4 days after Nicole was last seen, a canine unit was brought in. The dog, named Thor, picked up Nicole's scent and led searchers to a reservoir just a few hundred meters from Enrique's home. There, underwater and wrapped in plastic and bed sheets, they found a body. It was weighted down with large stones. The condition of the body left investigators shaken. Nicole had been stabbed multiple times. Her limbs were missing. Her face was bruised, and carved into her back were 3 letters, PCC, a reference to a Brazilian gang. But this wasn't a gang crime. Authorities quickly determined it was a deliberate attempt to mislead them. Nicole's identity was confirmed by a necklace she always wore, and her physical characteristics matched perfectly. The brutality of the crime, combined with the effort to conceal her body, pointed clearly to premeditation. Forensic teams searched Enrique's house again. They found a power saw, which may have been used in the dismemberment, as well as blood-stained clothing and the garden cart used to transport her body. The sheets matched those found in the reservoir. Then came another disturbing revelation. A message had been sent from Nicole's phone to a group chat. The day after she died, it gave the illusion that she was still alive, but digital forensic analysis proved that Nicole didn't write it. Someone had used her phone after the murder to try to delay suspicion. Another part of the cover-up. With mounting evidence, the investigation turned toward both Enrique and Evelyn, who had now vanished. The case escalated when police tracked them down on July 20th in more than 500 kilometers away. They were hiding in a house belonging to one of their relatives. Both teens were arrested without resistance. In custody, Enrique confessed. He admitted to luring Nicole under false pretenses and carrying out the act with Evelyn's help. Police classified the crime as premeditated murder with aggravating circumstances, dismemberment, evidence tampering, and active collaboration. But despite the horror of the crime, the Brazilian legal system had its limits. Because both Enrique and Evelyn were minors under 18, they could not be tried as adults. Instead, they fell under the jurisdiction of Brazil's child and adolescent protection laws. The maximum penalty: 3 years in a closed rehabilitation facility. No matter how horrific the crime, that was the limit. Nicole was laid to rest in her hometown on July 20th. Her funeral was filled with grief, anger, and disbelief. Her mother, Priscilla, didn't speak publicly that day, but later, she gave a statement that echoed across the country. "My daughter didn't get a chance to grow up, and those who took her life will be free before they even become legal adults." The case sparked national outrage. Online petitions called for legal reform. Protesters marched in cities across Brazil holding signs that read "Justice for Nicole." Legal experts pointed out that Brazil's juvenile statutes were created in the early 1990s, a time when society faced different problems. But now, with crimes of such brutality committed by minors, many questioned whether the law still served justice. Nicole's name has become more than a tragic headline. It's a symbol of broken systems, of failed protections, of stolen innocence. And for many, her case is a call to change how justice works when young lives are destroyed by others who hide behind their age. Thanks for watching. If this story moved you, please like, comment, and subscribe. Let Nicole's name be a reminder that kindness can be betrayed, and that justice, real justice, sometimes takes more than a courtroom. Stay safe, and stay aware.